Hey YouTube, what is up? I am Mike. Thank you so much for watching. So I did something I haven't done in a very long time. 25 or 30 years ago, I actually recorded and wrote quite a bit of hip hop music. I've done all kinds of things over the years, and I've always loved the genre, and I've been trying to get back into it recently. The problem is that I'm old school because I'm old, and most of what I hear in modern hip hop just doesn't appeal to me. I'm not even that familiar with a lot of the artists because most of what I hear it's just not for me. Having said that, I'm not dissing on any one of them or your tastes in any one of them because to each his own. I love people loving music and people making music, period. Except Creed and Collective Soul. Fuck those guys. But what I wanted to do was see if I could take some more modern hip hop that I wasn't familiar with and put the type of beat that I'm used to on it as an old school old guy and see if it worked. So I went looking for a cappella versions of songs that I've never heard before by artists that I have heard of, but maybe I'm not familiar with. And the first one that I stumbled upon was this one. It's a song called B.I.T.C.H by Megan Thee Stallion. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through the steps that I used to produce this song entirely from free software using a song that I've never heard before to just make a brand new remix. So I'm going to show you all the tools that I used to create it, where you can find them for free, and how you can do this yourself if you want to. Or if you don't care about any of that shit and you just want to hear what I ended up doing, you can either skip ahead to where I play it, or if you want a better sounding version of it, you can click up here, wherever that is. And I'm going to put a link up there to the final version, which is a mastered version of the mix that I created for this song. In total disclosure, the only thing I used to produce this song that was not free software was what I used to master that version that I just told you to click on. I could probably do it with free software, but I'm very familiar with Isotope Ozone that I use to master that, so that's what I use for that, and that's what I'm going to do for now for this video. Maybe in the future I'll try to find something free to use that one with as well. At the end of this video, you'll also find a link to what most of you are used to seeing me do, which is a reaction video, but this one's going to be a little different. It's going to be a reaction, my reaction, to hearing the actual song B.I.T.C.H. for the very first time after I just wrote a remix to it. And if I end up posting all this, it means that I guess I'm decently happy with what I made. I was actually about to listen to the song when it suddenly dawned on me that this would be a really good thing to put on YouTube. So what I'm going to show you now is just a recreation of how I created it. And then I'm going to go do the reaction video. And we'll see what happens from there. All right, so this is what I was going from. This is all I have ever heard of this song at all, is just this vocal part.
I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm tripping anyway. You know you can't control me, baby.
All right, cool. Like, I dig that. That is, it's got bars. It's actual, there's rhythm to it. It's not the mumble rap thing. There's no, auto-tune or melodyne or anything like that going on. It's just straight up rhyming, and I dig it. So Google tells me that B.I.T.C.H is a song by Megan Thee Stallion with a tempo of 174 BPM or beats per minute. It can also be used in halftime at 87 BPM. The track runs 3 minutes and 3 seconds long with a B key and a minor mode, so it's in B minor. Good to know. It has high energy and is very danceable with a time signature of 4 beats per bar. Now, a lot of times in hip-hop, at least the hip-hop that I like to listen to, the key isn't going to matter at all because it's just rhymes. So the software that I'm going to use in order to create this production is Reaper. There's a million digital audio workstations, or DAWs as we call them, out there. You take your pick. This is not an endorsement. It's just the one that I'm used to. It's the one that I'm very familiar with. And it also has a lot of built-in features that I really like. It's not technically a free software. You do have to pay $60 for a license to use Reaper. I have this software installed on about 4 or 5 different computers. I do own 2 licenses to it. But again, in full disclosure, if you're just trying to get into this and you have no money whatsoever, you can use Reaper basically forever without actually paying for it, although you should buy a license to it if this is something you're going to continue to use. It's only $60 and it's the foundation of everything. This is not an advertisement. I was not paid by Reaper to do this. I just like it a lot, and it has a lot of cool stuff built in that you don't need to add on. It's kind of ugly, those extra free stuff, but you know, hey, they work. So in Reaper, I just set the tempo to 174 and I dropped the song in and I turned on the metronome and, you know, it just worked.
I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm tripping anyway. You know you can't control me, baby.
I checked it throughout to make sure it continues to line up.
Real one in your life, the bitches ain't gon' give it to you right. Shit that I be needing can't depend on the probably, and that's fucked up cause you age, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm age, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm tripping anyway. You know you can't.
Looks good. So at this point, I really had no idea what I was going to do with the intro, because there's clearly a build-up intro there. But I wanted to start building the beat, so I just started with where she comes in with the actual rhyming. So this is the drum part that I came up with for the verse. I dig it. It's got an old school feel to it. I'll talk about the plugin and why I'm going to be using a different one in the future in just a second.
B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm tripping anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. The bitches ain't gon' give it to you right. I'd rather be a B.I.T.
Cool. So the plugin that I used to create the drums is Drum Pro, and it sounds really good. It's got a bunch of different drum kits that you can choose from. I mean, honestly, most of them sound good and are very usable. However, there are some problems with it. Although it claims to have 16 outputs, there's actually no way to select each one of these pads to be on a different track within your audio workstation. And that can be problematic because you want to have control for the effects and the EQ over each individual drum. Luckily, there's a way around that. What I did was just create a bunch of different tracks where I installed the plugin on each one of those tracks so that I put the kick on one of them, the other kick on another one, snare, clap, hi-hat, so on. The other problem with this plugin is that it, for some reason, forces you to have the MIDI on one track and the audio on other tracks. So what you end up with, especially since I did it the way I did, is double the tracks for everything. So when you play it,
B.I.T.C.H,
you can see that up here, there's nothing visual, but this is where your actual audio is coming from. And down here, this is just the MIDI to control it. So it's cumbersome, and it's not really the best way to use your workflow. It's much preferable to have all of your drum parts on one MIDI track, with that going to individual audio tracks. I've since found some other plugins that I'll be using in future videos if this one does well, where you can eliminate that problem altogether. So at that point, I just extended that drum pattern throughout the entire song just to give it a listen to see where it goes. Obviously, I'm going to make a lot more edits as we go and do some dropouts and some just changes and whatnot, but let's see where it goes. And pretty quickly, I ran into something I found pretty interesting. So right in the middle of the first verse, her rhyme pattern entirely changes, and it works totally with this drum beat.
Treat it. You told me to keep it real, but you don't practice what you preaching. You want me to blow your phone up and come and looking for you till I find you. You really want me to whoop the hoe that you fucking with if I find her. Bitch, you.
But I decided to go a different way with it. Probably because I listened to too much Rush and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I decided to just turn the beat around and put in a bar of 2/4 to just give it an entirely different feel. And I also added an 808, and well, I like this.
Keep it real, but you don't practice what you preaching. You want me to blow your phone up and come and looking for you till I find you. You really want me to whoop the hoe that you fucking with if I find her. Bitch, you ain't that busy, I don't give a.
The VST or plugin that I used to create that 808 was the Beatmaker Bass Module 2. I really like the sound of this, although I have found another one since then that I'll probably be using in the future. That seems to be a theme of this video, but nonetheless, it sounds really great. You can find the link for this in the description. Now at the end of that section, I need to turn the beat around again so that it works with the chorus the way it's supposed to, so I had to add in another bar of 2/4.
Get back, I ain't turning to no damage. When you met me, boy, I been there. You tryna make me something that I ain't with that. I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call.
So all of that was completely unnecessary and probably not what they did in the original, but it's my style, that's what I dig. Then again, at the beginning of the second verse, she totally changes her rhyme style again, and it inspired me to do something just entirely different than I've done through the rest of the song, and just do kind of a build-up thing that turns back into the beat.
I got my mind on getting paid. We ain't spoken some days. He probably thinking I'm in pain, but I'm really on game. Ain't no nigga finna stop me. Independent, I got me. All the shit that I be needing can't depend on the probably. And that's fucked up cause you know that I don't fuck with nobody.
So just a nice basic 4 on the floor kick drum. I like where I'm going with this. All right, so the next thing that I did was to add a deep, dark, dirty bass line. And I liked it in the beginning when she first comes in with the drums. I liked it without anything on the first half of the chorus, but wanted to bring that bass line in on the second half of it. And this is what I came up with, and then I'll show you what I used to do it.
You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. The bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm tripping anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. The bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right?
So yeah, again, simple. All of these parts are very simple. That's usually the case in most hip-hop stuff, especially the old school stuff that I grew up with listening to. So I'm happy with that. The plugin that I use to make this one is Surge XT. You can find the link for this one in the description as well. This used to be my favorite free synthesizer, but again, I found something else that I like way more that I'll be using in the next one, but this is still a great tool that I'm still going to be using going forward. Next, I used Surge again to create this really nice pad pattern that I'm going to use in the chorus, and then decided I was going to end up using it in the intro as well. And then I used Surge again to add another track that just kind of filled that out even more. So it's got that kind of spooky vibe, which is something that I am just always very into, as you can probably tell, considering my last 40 videos were horror short stories. So in the verses, I dropped both of those parts out, left the bass line, and then added this nice little stab.
Play with me, you know I'm undefeated. A real hot girl know how to keep a nigga heated. You say you won't respect or treat me how you...
Pretty happy with this. I think I just need to add a few samples, and then I think we're going to be in good shape. I'll stick in my little stinger here that I created.
Remixes by B.I.T.C.H.
And this one to add a little bit of movement to the intro. And then a few more in that section where I've got the 808. So there were a lot of other things that I did in order to get this completely finalized, as far as, you know, like mixing it, adjusting, you know, EQs, adding delays and reverbs and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into all those details in this. If this video does well, then I'll show you some of the audio tricks that I like to use in future videos. But for now, all right, let's hear it. And again, if you want, you can always go to the other video that has the high quality version, because keep in mind, this is just you know, straight out of the mixing board. It sounds pretty good, but it'll be much higher fidelity when mastered in the other one. But here we go.
Remixes by B.I.T.C.H.
Real hot girl shit. It ain't always about what you like, sometimes it's about what's right. I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? Why you wanna play with me? You know I'm undefeated. A real hot girl know how to keep a nigga heated. You say you won't respect or treat me how you wanna be treated. You told me to keep it real, but you don't practice what you preaching. You want me to blow your phone up and come and looking for you till I find you. You really want me to whoop the hoe that you fucking with if I find her. Bitch, you ain't that busy. I don't give a fuck what you ain't got time for. You look me in my eyes and know you lying, man. That's far, bro. Man, you knew I was a player for you met me need to relax. You know that you gon' hate me if I get the plan, get back. I ain't turning to no bad bitch when you met me, boy. I been there. You tryna make me something that I ain't, and I ain't with that. I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? Ay, I got my mind on getting paid. We ain't spoken some days. He probably thinking I'm in pain, but I'm really on game. Ain't no nigga finna stop me. Independent, I got me. All the shit that I be needing can't depend on the probably. And that's fucked up cause you know that I don't fuck with nobody. I be quiet, but you out here telling stories one-sided. I ain't perfect and I try to fix the shit that ain't working, but it's 2020. I ain't finna argue about twerking. Since you wanna test them waters, might as well jump in with both feet. If you leave me and you see me, better act like you don't know me. If you think your shit get better with another bitch, go get her. When you realize she ain't got you like I got you, I can't help you. I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H, cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm trippin' anyway. You know you can't control me, baby. You need a real one in your life. Them bitches ain't gon' give it to you, right? I'd rather be a B.I.T.C.H.
Well, that's it. So what do you think? I think I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, especially like I said, I haven't done anything like this in 25, 30 years. And back then we were doing it on, actual keyboards and sequencers and samplers and turntables. So, considering this is basically, my first time at this, I'm pretty happy with that. I really can't wait to see, what the original sounds like. This took me a lot longer to create and edit than I expected it to, and I'm really anxious now to hear this. So I am going to put the link for that here at the end, as well as that high quality version. And you can also find in the description for that high quality version a link to a Google Drive where you can download this as an MP3 if for some reason you want to do that. So be sure to check those out, and thank you so much for watching. My name is Mike. Hope to see you next time.